Yes, you guys are still reading that correct. The Arizona Cardinals just blew out the New York Jets 31-6. Puts us at a record of 6-4. We remain first in the NFC West. We are on a roll. That is 4 wins straight. We haven't won 4 straight since, I don't even know, probably 2021. And before that, I'm not sure, but this is fantastic. The Cardinals are on a roll right now. Things are just clicking defensively. We have had back-to-back masterclasses. Nick Rallis coaching your butt off. Defense playing your butt off. There's so many players that I want to talk about, and I'm going to go ahead and start with these two guys right here. And that's going to be Garrett Williams and Budda Baker. Both of these guys have been phenomenal for us all season long, and when there hasn't been many bright spots on the defense, these two guys have been excellent. You could also throw Mac Wilson in here, but these two, I legitimately think that both of these guys have Pro Bowl chances and they deserve the nod, but they're playing out of this world. Garrett Williams, super underrated corner this season. If you're not a Cardinals fan or just an NFL fan who is super dialed in and knows ball, you're probably sleeping on him. And then Budda Baker, he is everywhere, flying around 24/7. There's literally nothing that this guy cannot do on the field. He's splitting tackles, splitting the offensive line, getting tackles in the backfield, just a literal human heat-seeking missile. Budda Baker is ridiculous. You guys remember Aaron Rodgers had super high praise for him. He put him in a category with Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed, so it just speaks volumes that a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers would even speak to him like that. Absolutely ridiculous, especially before a matchup. Typically, you don't see hype like this, and Aaron Rodgers tipped the nod, man. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and the Cardinals came out here and dominated. And a big testament to why, and I am so glad to be a Kyler Murray activist. This is one of those days where it's just so nice to be a supporter and a day one guy. And you guys know I have been an activist for Kyler for the longest. And I mean the longest. So to see him like this today was fantastic. 2 total rushing touchdowns with a passing touchdown as well to Maserati Marv. Kyler Murray just lofted that thing up. Marvin Harrison Jr. came down, and that was a touchdown. Just ridiculous play right here. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison finally connecting again. It is so nice to see. But Kyler today, 2 incompletions. Yes, 2 incompletions, 22 for 24, 287 total yards passing and rushing, 3 total touchdowns, and a new franchise record. This is how on fire he was, of 17 straight completions. I believe he broke Carson Palmer's previous record in 2017. So Kyler was just on one today, and this is one of the most unstoppable performances I have ever seen from Kyler. From being poised in the pocket to stepping up, making the right play, throwing the ball on time, like you can tell Kyler Murray is finally developing into the quarterback that this offense and Drew Petzing need him to be. He's playing within the system, within structure at the best level he has ever played under center, and this is a brand new adjustment. He played under center for like 6, 7, 8 games last season when he came back off a torn ACL. It's tough. It's different footwork. It's different everything, and Kyler Murray in this season has us with a 6-4 record, 2 above 500, and we had a projected 6.5 win total. Remember when I told you guys to slam that? We're 1 game away, so if you did, everything is looking fantastic for you. You're about to cash in on some riches, but Kyler's playing at an MVP level, and he deserves a nod. Like, Kyler Murray should be top 5 in MVP voting. Like, you have Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I think Kyler Murray should be right there. If I'm not missing somebody else, you guys can let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe I'm asleep. But Kyler deserves to be up there. And if you're a Jets fan, you probably agree after this performance. And if you check out his stat totals on the year, he is balling. Like, I'm going to go ahead and read off his stats right now. I probably will not pull up the graphic, but 1,792 passing yards, 19th in the league. 11 passing touchdowns, tied with 10th. 3 interceptions, tied 50th. That is phenomenal. 3rd in QBR was 71.9. Then you go to the ground game, 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 8 yards a carry. Kyler also completing 67.1% of his passes. Like, he is just on another level. Like, every 2 out of 3 is a completion. That is a phenomenal percent. Kyler Murray balling. And someone else who was balling today too, and I'm going to give so much love to our running backs because this was a very committee game as well because Trey Benson spazzed too, but James Conner on the ground was kind of stopped. I can't lie. Trey Benson was the better running back on the ground today. I'm so glad to have a ground and pound attack, and I'll talk about Trey Benson in a second, but for now, James Conner. Shout out Cardinals Muse, 12 carries, 5 receptions, and he had a lot of receiving yards. Was the team's leading receiver, had 113 total yards, and even pounded in a touchdown. James Conner, have yourself a day. It's going to be very interesting because Budda Baker, the guy that I hyped up earlier, and James Conner are both up for contract extensions, and if you're Monty Austin for it, How can you let these guys go? Like, I just don't think that's in the realm of possibility. Both of these guys will probably be back in Arizona, and it's tough because there's a chance that they do not come back and they're not retained. But I think Monty Ossenfort's going to do the right thing and bring them back, especially if we make the playoffs this year. If you just let two of your best players go, the season's going to go up to right back down. So that's probably not going to be the case. I expect both of them to be back if we make the playoffs for sure. And talking about doing it by committee, Trey Benson. When Trey Benson is decisive and makes his mind up as a runner, like I said earlier when he was drafted, he could be the best running back in the draft class. Yes, over Jonathan Brooks. For sure. And he was taking over Trey Benson. I didn't expect the Cardinals to dabble into running back, but I was excited. He needs carries, he needs reps, and sometimes, you know, early on in the season, it was growing pains. You did not want to see that. I even was like, what are we doing? James Conner has like 100 yards. Why even give him carries? Because you need him to be comfortable for games like this, where James Conner leads the team in carries with 12, but only gets you 33 yards, but he's a hard runner. So, I mean, James Conner's yards were tough, picked up a big 4th down right before the half, 2.8 yards a carry, scored a touchdown. James Conner, shout out to you, but Trey Benson was the team's best rusher today, and it wasn't even close. From making people miss to running people over to fighting for extra yards, Trey Benson looks like he could be James Conner Jr., and I'm so glad he's learning under him, especially this season. It's a phenomenal year because James Conner with age is just like legitimately getting better. It's like fine wine. Either James Conner's taking something from the fountain of youth or he's drinking Lebrenacy, because there's no way he should be this good at this old. I'm a big fan of this and I love the way the Cardinals are trending, but let's go back to the stats because it's very interesting because like I said, I mean, all of our running backs had a day. Amari DeMarcado got garbage time, 3 for 22. Kyler Murray, 3 for 21, 7 to carry. DJ Dallas, 3 for 10. Then we go to receiving and it's interesting because James Conner was the team's leading receiver. 5 receptions, 80 yards. Then you have Trey McBride, who is just Mr. Mother Trucking Automatic. 4 for 71, 17.8 yards a carry. Marvin Harrison Jr. showed up today when he needed. 5 receptions, 54 yards, and that huge touchdown we showcased earlier. Trey Benson, 2 receptions, 25 yards. Michael Wilson, 3 for 24, wasn't super involved. And Greg Dortch has just been non-existent. That was a player I thought was going to break out. That is disappointing to see him at the bottom with 0 yards and -1. But I mean, if we're winning football games, I really don't care. I don't think he'll care. He is up for a contract, so maybe he cares a little bit for financial security. But we're balling right now, so I have no complaints right here. I'm sure Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch would love to be involved more, but sometimes that's just not the way the game goes. And Michael Wilson talked about it earlier in the year. When the ball comes your way, you got to make plays, and it's going to be a committee thing. Sometimes Marvin's going to spaz, sometimes Dortch is going to spaz, and sometimes he's going to spaz. You've got to stay the course, got to stay locked in, and that's exactly what they're doing because back-to-back games, Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson didn't put up fantastic numbers. But at the end of the day, we are on a 4-game win streak. So stay locked in. We're golden. And taking a look at team stats, this just shows you how insane the defense was. Look at the Cardinals, first of all. 406 total yards, 259 passing, 147 rushing, super balanced game, 28 first downs, 5 for 7 on 3rd down. There weren't many 3rd down opportunities, and when we had them, we converted. 4th down, 1 for 1, that was to James Conner. 57 total plays, only allowed 1 sack where Kyler Murray got drilled, I can't lie. 5 penalties today. Sean Murphy-Bunting had 1, Kyler had to delay a game, and then the rest, I believe Garrett Williams had a PI, and then I don't remember the other 2 off the top of my head. But if we flip to the Jets, man, it was tough. A fumble lost, 2 punts, and the Cardinals only punted 1 time, by the way. 3 sacks allowed. They were 1 for 3 on 4th down, 6 of 13 on 3rd down with only 17 first downs with 207 total yards. Look at how dominant the Cardinals were in the top, like 128 yards passing, terrible. 79 yards rushing, terrible. 3.8 yards per play, terrible. Like combined numbers, these are awful. For those to be the numbers of your offense, that is abysmal, and the Jets got rocked today. Let's call it how it is. And a big testament is to Kyler Murray, who is now 3rd in franchise passing yards with 17,623. He might have more, but when the graphic was posted, this is what he had. Cardinals on a roll. Big testament to our QB1 and this defense and just this team in general. The Cardinals sit at the top of the NFC West. We are also 2-0 in the division, so this is a fantastic start to the year. Like, I don't think I could have asked for any better. All the expectations of me being called crazy in the offseason that the Cardinals were going to take this jump. All the expectations that I had for this team, although defensively they weren't there in the beginning, they're kind of here now. And Nick Rallis still doesn't even have the talent, but he's making the best of it, and this defense is stepping up. One of my projected players on defense who was going to break out was going to be BJ Ojulari, but he went down with injury, so it's very hard to tell. But Garrett Williams, Budda Baker, they're both having the seasons I thought they were. Getting Kazir White back, that was huge. And this Cardinals defense, for how banged up the interior line is and the edge rushers basically being non-existent, played fantastic. Just ridiculous performance, man. I'm excited as a Cardinals fan. You guys let me know down in the comment section below how you guys are feeling, man, but I am absolutely pumped. If you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.